This is about exploring your strong feminine. It's 75 minutes. By the end of this workshop, you're going to recognize the signs of feeling disconnected from your strong feminine self. You're going to learn 3 powerful changes which will help you get into that next level, fully alive, magnetic, tapping into the bliss of the femininity. I'm going to help you visualize who is she, that strong sensual. And you will see I'm going to be challenging a little bit the way we think of feminine energy. I think you will like it. You can tell me at the end. And then there will be a clear path for going deeper with this work. Welcome, everyone. My name is Anna. Are you in? Are you engaged? Are you committed? Are you ready to dive deep today? I want to see some thumbs up. Everyone, I would love for you to just briefly introduce yourself. So let's crack on, okay? I know this is a free workshop, and often when it's a free workshop, we take things a bit like lightly, we don't care. I want to challenge you to think of this like imagine you had spent, I don't know, £1,000 to be here in this room with me. How would you show up today? How committed would you be? How would you show up if you had paid to be here? Because I'm going to give you my full presence for 75 minutes and I'm going to be giving you as much as I can. So I would love for you in exchange to actually be in the room with me, be dynamic, interact, and just basically take as much as you can because that's the goal for me. The goal is that I'm going to bring some new concepts, different ways to see the feminine self, the feminine energy. My goal is like you have tools so that you can go to the next level. Of course, I would love for us to work together, and I will mention how to work together, but this is not one of those workshops where I'm just selling you the entire time. I'm truly giving you value because I believe that the more I give you, the more you're going to be excited about this change and the more we're likely to work together in the future. So at the end, I will be explaining the next steps if you want to work with me, and I have a gift for those who are engaged and excited. Can I get thumbs up? And can I know where you're coming from, everyone? And I want to know what's the challenge you're facing. What's the biggest challenge you're facing when it comes to feeling connected to yourself as a woman? Why are you here, basically? And as you're typing, I'm going to tell you what we will do. I'm going to get you to do a mini grounding, breathing visualization with me for just a few minutes, just to make sure we're in the room together. We'll already start tapping into the feminine self in that moment. And then I'm going to show you my method. I created a method which is called the strong feminine self. And this method is basically 3 steps to get you to that strong feminine version of yourself. And of course, I will tell you a lot more what I mean by that. And it's a proven method. I've worked on it for a long time and I tested it and refined it. And so I'm going to show you the visual like map of that today. So this is really the what. What is it to be in your feminine self? What is it to be in your strong feminine, not in the soft, receiving, gentle feminine, like the strong leader woman in you, the woman who's playful, who play with life, who, you know, she's bubbly and she attracts and she has amazing relationships as a result. And this is a really much like a feminine that's like she's in the driver's seat. She's here. She wants pleasure. She wants the best that life has to offer. She knows she deserves it. So this is the version of the feminine I'm going to bring to you today. And I'm going to show you the 3 steps to get there. And then if you like it and you're like, yeah, I'm serious about this, I want to take the next steps, then at the end, I will show you how to work with me. Because it's one thing to know the what, but it's another one to know how to do it. So I can get you there. Okay, so I'm seeing Katie. I feel the menopause changes how I connect to my strong self. Okay. And Jessica is saying, I am very logical, still in the divorce proceeding. I want to stop thinking and start feeling, but I cannot shut up my brain. Okay, I love that. Thanks, Jessica. This, you're in the right place. This is very much for those women. So let's crack on with that. Who is this for? This is for the women who have done stuff. You know, they had a job, they have a job, or maybe they have raised kids, maybe they have people to take care of, they're responsible, they have their shit together, they're dependable, and they tend to be in their masculine. So they have been in their go, go, go mode, which is the doing. It's the doing. I'm going to show you actually, I have a visual to show you that. So, when you're a child, you're into the being. You experience life, you try things, you put things in your mouth, you taste, you smell, you play, you fall, you're in your being, you're building up yourself, you're training your brain, your body to become. But then I think as we become adult, we move into the doing, which nothing wrong with it. It's healthy. You need to be building your life. You need to start thinking seriously about your career, building your life, meeting the partner, blah, blah, blah. But as a result, I see the doing very much as a masculine mode, which is very linear, very direct, it's kind of, it's doing that when you think, yeah, like, you have to tunnel vision, be into your doing, get result, get shit done. I'm talking to you today because you've been in your doing for a long time. And now chances are you're like, I don't know, 40s, 50s, 60s. I'm 44. And you're like, you know what? I feel like I need to be in my new being. I need to shift something because my body is turned off. I'm not really operating from my full self. I'm just like in my head. I'm like doing life doesn't feel as uh, tasty or flavorful as it should. And I'm ready to shift that. I want to keep doing, it's not like you're giving up who you are or like you still need to make money and build things. But now you're in a space in your life where you're like, I'm ready to actually surrender a little bit to life. And I believe this is being in your feminine. So you can see on the screen, the strong feminine, the way I describe it is a sensual self. When I talk about sensual, I talk about the senses. Your senses are open, you're feeling, you're smelling, you're feeling pleasure. It's not just being fulfilled in your head rationally, but it's actually feeling fulfilled. It's being intuitive. I see Martina is like, yeah, yeah. And I see Katie as well. Yes, good. Um, Intuitive. Intuitive is like, feeling light, feeling like you intuitively know what to do, what's good for you, what you need to be doing. So you kind of like, it's not like you switch off your brain, but you let more your subconscious deciding because you have, you have enough life experience now that you know what's good for you. So you go back to that intuitive. And then I wrote the badass, which is the way I used to call it. Now I call it more the strong feminine. That's your magnetic higher self, your leader in yourself, but from a feminine standpoint. So this is who I'm talking to. So can I get like thumbs up or reaction or comments if you recognize yourself in that? Yes, Martina, Katie, Elizabeth, Maria, Jessica, and then I have more people, but Oli, Jessica, thanks for the thumbs up. I want to know if you recognize yourself in this. And if so, is there anything already? I know we're still at the beginning, but is there already something that's like, okay, yeah, this speaks to me, or this is something I want to be thinking more about? Feel free to write that in the comments. Martina, challenging for me is traveling a lot, running on business, and does the need to perform a bit. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I want to introduce myself at this moment because I think this is a good transition. When I talk about being in your masculine, I know what I'm talking about because I have been a lot in my masculine. And so my name is Anna Laurence. My background is I grew up in a family where raised by women, my mom and my grandma, and we were very free. They raised me to like they were not really responsible. They were definitely in there like, yeah, it was all over the place. And so in a way, I wasn't shut down in expressing myself, being free, being feminine, being playful. But at the same time, they didn't teach me to be responsible. And so I kind of had to, you know what it is when you have too much freedom, too much, it's almost dangerous, right? You have to become responsible for yourself. So very young, I developed, I think, a strong, responsible, serious, rational, never taken drugs, never. I was very serious in many ways. And I went into law. I studied law. I did a master's in law. Hi, Sheila. Thanks for coming on camera. Thanks for those who joining late. And so I feel like I really went deep into my masculine. And so in a way, I had a very formal career. I went into law, master's in law. In France, I'm from France. Originally, I'm in London now. But then I went into the nonprofit sector, developed, created a charity, won awards. So I had a good career, like serious, but then on the flip side, I was also from a very young age attracted to dancing. And so I was always dancing. And very young age, I was very entrepreneurial. And I went to nightclubs and I started selling my shows, created a group of dancers, like created costume. I don't know where that came from, but I was a dancer. And then I became a stripper. And I decided to not do the low thing because it wasn't me. And I went into stripping and I danced around the world and I had a really good career for like 15 years as a dancer, stage dancer, pole dancer, stripper. Loved it. And I was very much in my feminine when I did that. Very much. What do I mean by that? It's very easy to think as a stripper, the common misbelief is that we're not in our strength. We are like selling our body or whatever, but it's the opposite. When you are a dancer and you want to make money, you really have to show up very grounded, very powerful. So in a way, you're very much like a businesswoman. You're in your masculine. You're here to sell. You're here to make money. You're here to express yourself. But on another hand, you've got to really tap into that feminine. You've got to be in your body. You've got to feel powerful. There's so much competition when you're a stripper. You have to sell your dances, and there's lots of other women in the room. And you have to feel confident. You can't be comparing yourself. You can't be engaging into that self-talk. You have to be, powerful on stage. Yeah, when you go on stage, you have the spotlight on you. You've got to learn. And so it took me a few years to learn that. So I really have developed a strong feminine and a strong masculine. And so a few years ago, I started coaching on different things. And then slowly I went into that. And so now I coach the strong feminine. I love working with women who are in their strong masculine. How I see the strong feminine and the strong masculine. And then after that, we're going to do a mini grounding visualization, everyone. So the healthy masculine and feminine energies. First thing I want to say is that I use those terms, feminine and masculine, but you can also think of it as like the yin and the yang. You can think of the night and the day. Like it's not really about gender. It's just about using terms that are almost like archetypes to get you into a way of thinking. So this is you see it's like an onion, but there's a heart at the middle. So the way I see it is that a strong masculine is the red envelope of the onion. It's the outer layers of the onion. They're a little bit more hard and solid. You see, it's the red. That's your masculine energy. Inside, you have the more tender, flowy, maybe it's like, I'm thinking of it like, the the fire, or like something that's like moving and fluid and dancing and really spicy. And that's your yellow in the middle. That's your feminine energy. So I will come back to this to explain this in a short bit, but I just wanted you to understand. So why I love working with women in their strong masculine, why I'm telling you that is because the more you have a strong container for yourself, the masculine, the more you actually can hold a strong feminine. So all of you are going to make progress very quickly into being in your feminine because you know how to get things done. You're not like, some people are just like out there and they procrastinator, they never make anything happen. If you recognize yourself in like, yeah, I have a strong masculine, I want to be more in my feminine, you know how to make things happen. So all you need is the tools. You need the step by step, and then you can go. Can you tell me, do you recognize yourself in this? How do you feel about that so far? I would love to read that in the comments. You can give me thumbs ups or whatever emoji you want to give me. I want to know if you're here in the room with me. Yes. Okay. Arela. I don't know what you mean, Elizabeth. Jessica, been a married single mother, breadwinner, exactly. A lot of red layers, yes. But you know what, Jessica? I know because I work with women like that, and generally, the more envelope container you have, the more there is inside. Because often it's a bit of a protective mechanism. We are actually quite sensitive. We're actually very alive, very raw. That raw magnetic feminine self is very strong, but you need so much layers because you're afraid of letting it out, because what can happen, if you're your full self. Sheila, still good, sad that lost a bit, but happy to relax, find it again. Yes, Sheila. So many of the women I work with, they tell me that they left the feminine behind maybe 20 years ago, 15 years ago. They forgot that feminine self. They forgot like the sexy vibe. They forgot to be in their body. Is that how you feel, everyone? Do you feel like you had it in the past at some point? Or are you like, no, I've never been really in my feminine. I never felt sensual. Yes, you would scare a lot of people without the red. Yes. Yeah. But you know what? That's because because you're afraid of it. The day you stop being afraid of it yourself, nobody else is afraid of it. You will see. It's like, this idea that everything is a mirror. I have a good example for that. So, I told you I used to be a stripper. Most women who've been a stripper, like all my friends, they never say it. They never mention it because they feel like people won't get it. They just, embarrassed or whatever. Even though they loved being a dancer, they don't express it in the world because they are worried. And when they do, the few times they mention it to like a new partner or somebody, usually it doesn't go really well. That's because they don't feel at peace with it. They don't feel like they embrace that side of themselves. They are carrying wound around it. And therefore, when they express it to a partner or whatever, it doesn't go well. Me, I've always felt like being a dancer is freaking amazing. I'm so proud of it. And I share it with the world. I share it everywhere. And I'm sharing it with you. And you know what? I never get any negative comments. It's crazy. People are, oh, cool. People are like, okay, yeah, they see this as like actually something positive because I see it as positive. So it's true for all of you, for your feminine. Because I often hear women telling me, I'm worried to express my feminine because either people will be scared of it or other women might feel threatened, or men, maybe I'm not attracting the right kind of people. So that's something I hear often. And my answer is always that is the way you learn to feel good at it, with it, and express it in a way that feels aligned to you. Then you will see that people around you actually love it. So I don't know if that speaks to you, Jessica, at all. Give me a thumbs up if you're like, yeah, I can relate. Okay, yeah, feel free to write a comment on that as well. Elizabeth, being stripped of your feminine side and you kind of not notice exactly. It's usually very subtle, it's over years and years, and it's also societal. Like, we are still in a patriarchal society. It's a society that has been led by men since history of time. And of course, you're going to feel a bit of resistance, maybe even shame around being in your feminine because that is not what's been valued in a good way. So, Jessica, I will give it a chance, but I don't want to put my professional reputation. Yes, I am in. Yeah, yes, absolutely. So, usually, women who are in their masculine, who achieve things, who are leaders in their life, they work in a men environment. That's almost all my clients. And so I know what you mean, Jessica. So that's why it needs to be, when we talk about being in your feminine, even sensual, I'm not saying like start wearing like crazy shit at work and play and seduce men. Like that's not it. That's not it. I'm going to tell you what it is actually. So in a minute. So everyone, let's do a minute of breathing together and grounding. And I'm going to already get you to explore a little bit of that feminine self. Are you in for that? To do, it's like a mini visualization. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready. Yes, thumbs up. Okay, I want more thumbs up. Some of you, Maria, Oli, Kat, thanks for the thumbs up. Elizabeth, are you in? Okay. So you can close your eyes and just take a minute to breathe. I'm doing it with you. We're just grounding ourselves. And just focus on your breathing for a few minutes. So deep inhale. And you can exhale through the mouth for a few times to sight and let go of any tension. And we're slowing down the breathing. And I want you to start focusing inwards. So whatever that means to you. So you can, by the way, at any time you can stretch, you can move. I tend to stretch and move during those visualization. You don't need to be like completely static if that doesn't work for you. So your eyes are closed, you're relaxing, you're breathing, and I want you to do like focus inward in the sense that you're just going to be curious and see how your body is feeling at this moment. So just ask your body, ask even your mind. So it's your body, your mind. We're checking in with the body. We're checking in with the mind. And we're just scanning. How is it feeling? Is there any tension? Maybe your neck or maybe your shoulders, your jaw. Maybe there's a bit of tension. There's always a bit of tension when we join a new thing. We're with new people. We don't know what to expect. It's completely normal. So whatever the tension is, if there is, I want you to be in it. I don't want you to shut it down. I don't want you to try to breathe and get rid of it. I want you to be in it. So embrace it just for a few minutes. Be curious. So it's nothing wrong or nothing bad. This is your body and your mind talking to you. So listen, what does the body want you to know today? Things might be, I'm feeling a little bit anxious, I'm tired, or maybe I'm excited. Maybe it's all of it together. Maybe it's a lot of emotions, or maybe it's quiet. And maybe your body is resisting and you're not really connecting to the body. That's also information. So maybe there's a bit of resistance. And so just breathe into it. Don't try to get rid of it. Just be curious. See if the body has a specific message for you. Your mind, maybe your mind is running, and what is the mind telling you? And if there is a message, if there is a sensation, I want you to explore where is it in the body? Where is it located? And so the goal is not to shut it down. The goal is to learn about it, to learn from it, because there is often a message. There is often something that needs to be expressed. So we're giving space. And I want you to think about that concept of the feminine self, embracing that feminine, sensual flow, feminine self, whatever the word speaks to you. And when you think about that concept, I want you to just scan your body and your mind and see if there is any immediate resistance to it. Resistance can take the shape of anxiety, tension, maybe distraction, maybe you're struggling to even be focused right now. That's often a form of resistance. Impatience, maybe you're like annoyed and you want this to go faster. That's also a form of resistance. So just observe whatever is coming up when you think and feel that concept of feminine self. Breathe. And once again, we're not trying to shutting it down. We're just hearing, we're listening, we're carving space for that feeling, that sensation. And we're just making a note of that. So in your mind, you can make a note of whatever the resistance is. So the body and the mind knows that, okay, I'm being heard now. I'm not being shut down. Then finally, I want you to feel a little light, a little fire within yourself. Maybe it's around your heart. Maybe it's in your core. I want you to visualize like flames, like a little fire, or maybe it's like just a light. Visualize that inside of you. That's you, that's your aliveness. And feel it. Does it feel warm? And I want you to observe, like, is it small today? That aliveness, that spark, that fire, like it's like the energy of life. Does it feel small? Does it feel big? What's the feeling around it? What does it look like? For me, it feels like a fire inside. I can visualize flames. Might look different to you. And whatever the size is, maybe it's like tiny today, maybe it's giant. I want you to see if you can feel the temperature. Maybe there's a bit of warmth. You know, like when you drink like a tea or something, you know, that feeling of warm in the throat. Like maybe you're feeling a bit of that, and that's your fire. And let's breathe together. Deep inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. And you're exhaling. Ah, it's a big sigh. One more time. Deep inhale. One last time. Deep inhale. And deep exhale. And you can come back with me. And stretch. Let's take a second to stretch. Maybe drink some water. Welcome back, everyone. That was like a very express. I don't have much time, obviously, in this morning, but it was just a way to ground you a little bit and check in with yourself. Nothing too ambitious. I would love for you to write in the chat what came up for you. Were you into it? Were you not into it? Was there any strong message, sensation, learning? So Elizabeth is saying resistance. So Elizabeth, if you can be more specific, what kind of resistance did you feel? Was it here in your head? Was it like, you know, was it impatience? What was it? What was the resistance, if you want to write it down? And I'm seeing Martina's comment. I've done a lot of work on that direction. I am myself working Tantra field. I get you exactly when you mentioned hesitation about sharing. Yeah. I am well aware of my inner man and inner woman, just need to nourish female part and be cautious about maintaining balance. Yes. So Martina, I'm going to show you my method, which is a 3 steps method, which I hope will be interesting to you. And you will see that when I talk about the feminine and the masculine, I don't see this as like a scale where you have to constantly keeping in balance. I see this as you can be really big, very strong in your masculine energy, and all you need to be is very big and very strong is your feminine, in your feminine. So I love thinking of it from a place of abundance. This is not about control and like constantly like it's like, you know, let's just express both. Yeah, you get me. I think we're thinking the same. Okay, so Katie, I began coughing. Yes, so I often get that when I do sessions with clients. There's physical reactions, and that is like, you know, that makes me feel maybe a tension here in your throat. Like there's something there, something unexpressed. That's something we could explore a bit more together. Kat, my thoughts keep coming, reminding me all the things has to be done. Yes. Jessica, have to work on it, practice it. Felt stupid to be on camera and having the eyes closed, but I saw the flame too. The resistance is definitely in my brain. Okay. Yeah, you know, I do it with you. Usually, when I do the visualization, I also close my eyes, and so we all look ridiculous together. Elizabeth, not connecting with my emotions. A stone wall protecting my feelings. Survival mode. Okay. So I love that you're saying that. We all hear about the nervous system. It's a very trendy thing to look at the nervous system. I do believe that women, we have shut down our feminine in almost like I said earlier to you, Jessica, I think, to protect ourselves from expressing that. And so we need to feel safe, right? We need to feel safe. And often we have those protective layers, which if we don't release the feminine in a good way that works with us, we feel unsafe. So that's important to do it right. a lot of many of you might have done um, coaching programs, exercise about the feminine. I think there is a problem with a lot of those trainings because a lot of those courses and training come from women who are too much in their feminine and they don't hold a strong container for their clients. So often it's a bit woo-woo. It's a bit like, yeah, body manifest, just repeat like whatever bullshit. Like those things are like, yeah, but you know what? I think it's actually very important and very personal and very deep, and it often a lot of wounds for women. And a lot of us have been victim of any sort of discrimination, sexual abuse, like a lot of us. And it's a very deep, sensitive topic. And I think it's very important to, when we work on this, to have a clear map, somebody that knows what they're doing, but also can hold the space for you so you can feel safe to express. It's not just, yeah, just look at yourself in the mirror and tell you you're beautiful and everything will be great. Like that's what the hell, like, of course you can use lots of tools like that, but you need a core foundation. So I'm going to share my foundation with you, and you're absolutely welcome to take screenshots or whatever you want to keep this. Um, I'm showing you the what today. So this is what I'm talking about when I talk about the strong feminine self. I will walk you through this. Now, this is about, it's one thing to know it, but then you need to implement it. Of course, you can choose to implement it by yourself. You can later on go back to this and try to do your own thing. But if you decide to take the next step and actually you want to really commit to this, you can work with me and I will show you. And so I have a 3 months container. It's actually a 6 months container. You have access to live and classes and stuff with me, live tiny group workshops every week. But it's 3 months program. So I'm telling you that because either you work with me or someone else, but I recommend that format. Small group of women, so you feel held, you feel seen, you have a community around you, you have role models around you, and I will tell you more about that. And you work on those 3 big chapters. I've tested this over and over, and I refine it every month. I refine, refine, refine. So this is a tested method. I have lots of clients who've been through this. They love it. It works. The way I know it works is because they get very concrete outcome. And my question for you, before I share their outcome, what is the outcome number 1 that you would like? Before I dive into that, I want you to put in the chat, what is it that you want to shift? What is it? Why do you want to work on your feminine? Actually, stop sharing for a minute. I want to know about that. Like, what is it that you're trying to unlock? Because what does it mean to be in your like, what's the outcome? Can you write that in the chat? Because then I can shape as well what I'm going to share, what I'm going to talk about. Yes, Martina. So you're feeling tight, tension, headache. Nice to slow down and bring awareness to body. Yes. As you're typing, just telling you that my approach is never mind to body. It's body to mind. So whenever we do meditation, visualization, movement, discussion, your body hold a lot of information, and I believe it's the feminine. Your body needs to be released, needs to be expressed, needs to be heard. So it's never, those meditation where it's like, try to be quiet and feel nothing. Absolutely not. We're doing the opposite. We're giving space when you work with me. We're giving space to your body to be heard, to be seen, to be felt. It's uncomfortable, and we're going to release some, deep shit. Even though if you've done work on yourself before, you will see you release more because the body hold memory, the body hold blocks, fear. So I believe in this, so that I always do this. This is the way we work. We don't work this way. We're not convincing ourselves that we're feminine and we're beautiful. We're the body, so we're channeling, and I will show you on the map, we're channeling your feminine from your body. So visualization is always this way. So we give space to the body and the mind. Cat, being able to be vulnerable, be seen, break the good girl pattern. Well, you will love the next slide. So Cat, I want to know why you want this. What does it give you to be more vulnerable, be seen, break the good girl pattern? What will it give you that you don't have now? Jessica, I want to become a partner in a new relationship, not a mother, not a business partner. I want to find out what I would need. Okay, great. Jessica, I love this. It's concrete. I want a partner. I want to become a partner. I want to be great at that. Like, I want this. So I like this because it's concrete. The more concrete, the more you're going to know where you're heading, and the more likely it will happen. So everyone else, I would love for you to share. I'm going to come back to your comments in a minute, but let's do that. So the strong feminine method. So in the middle, you have that fire. It's like, I see this as a fire. That's just my, I want to say my style, my view, but for you, it might be like a rainfall, water, whatever. It might look, however you want. But for me, it's always those colors. And I paint. I'm a painter, I'm an artist as well. And everything I do is around those colors, I need this in my life. It just makes me feel good. So I color, I paint, so for me, that's the way it looks like. It's like a ball of energy. It's your life force it's my strong feminine. And we have a method where we do be free, be sensual, be bold. So let me tell you, and then I'm going to get you to reflect on those. Be free. It's a matter of being your full self. So yes, you have explored your masculine. Now it's time in your life to explore your feminine. You're not getting any younger if you need to do it. You need to express who you are as your full self. We break free from the good girl conditioning. So that's what the good girl conditioning, we break free from that. And I don't mean become a slut or become a stripper. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying be comfortable with your sensuality. Be comfortable with being seductive when you want it. And for me, what I mean by that is playfulness, like being cheeky, being playful, but with life. It can be with men, it can be with whoever you want, but it can just be the way you approach life. And so we work on exploring your freedom. What does it mean to you to feel free, to break free? And we explore archetypes. So I invite you to think of this as your queen. So the queen, visualize, in Disney movies or whatever, the queen is like her posture, how does she often has a long neck, she's elegant, she's the head of the kingdom. She knows what she likes. She's free to be herself. She can just ask for what she wants. So think of the queen, like in your body, feel the queen, and we break free from the good girl conditioning. So I have clients who, when they do this, when they explore that, they break free from the fear of other people's reaction. So a lot of the time we're worried about what other people think, and we don't even realize that. And so I have a lot of clients who they started wearing like beautiful dresses, or like, but not, not vulgar sexual, no, like just woman. They started looking more like a feminine woman who is comfortable in her body. And as a result, they felt much more like, I'm thinking of Anna. She's 62. I worked with her for 3 months. She did the program, and she ended up like looking on camera, like, every week I see you completely changing how she looked. Like she was glowing, wearing like red. Look, and so what that meant is that she works online and she has kids and a husband. But what happened is she was always the one working from home, staying home, and she completely changed her routine. So she started going outside, like work from coffee shops, work like being much more comfortable with being seen, taking space, creating her own routine. And as a result, she laughed a lot more. She's just more positive, you know. I have a video somewhere where she talks about that. I should put it on my website. But so this is about being free from who you are, like being free. And so her relationship with her husband is much better because now she's fun. She's fun. So I want to ask you, what would happen if you break free for yourself? Let's say you and I meet in 6 months, you've done the work, you broke free, you are your full self, you are not the good girl anymore, you're the queen. I want you to tell me what changed in your life. Can you write that in the chat? And I'm seeing comments. So, okay, so Elizabeth being accepted for your, that's from before, authentic self. And by the way, everyone, put thumbs up or heart to other people comments when you can relate. Because part of this is about community. It's about understanding that we're actually in this together and a lot of us feel the same. So whenever you read something that speaks to you, comment on it or heart, just thumbs up. Much more creative, no, sorry, accepted for your authentic self, claim back your feminine power, feeling sexy, and give yourself lots of love. Yes. What would happen, Elizabeth, if you felt sexy and give yourself a lot of love? What would shift? So Martina, I'm much more creative while I am in good connection with my feminine part and definitely wiser. Yes, I can relate. I'm much more creative. Like I'm so creative actually, and it brings so much joy to me, to my life. So I relate. I have more joyful and success in my project. Yes, and it doesn't drain you. So I believe that being in your feminine, being creative, is the best way to avoid burnout. So many women I work with, they're on the edge of burnout when they start the work because they're in the masculine. And once you become your full self, it's almost like you have much more power to deal with life because you express yourself. So it usually means you're not drained anymore. Cat, I feel those parts inside me, but my masculine is had suppressed those, and I want to integrate that to accept all the sides. Yes. Jessica, in my job, I can be the queen, the dominatrix. Yes, we'll talk about the dominatrix. Need to work on this one. I'm confident, I laugh. Yes. So that's Cat, that's what would happen. You feel more confident, you laugh more, you wear more colors, you wear patterns. So you see, life is so much more fun when you're in your feminine. Jessica, I would have separated the wheat from the chaff amongst the single men. Okay, yeah, I understand. I would have some different idea to raise my child, perhaps have a different employer. I love my job. Okay, so I love that. Yes, Jessica, once you're free to be yourself, you're much better at setting boundaries. And when you set good boundaries, you're much better at selecting people. Because right away you're like, yeah, you know what, that doesn't work for me. So it automatically sort, in the dating world, like the bad, whatever. And men are so, I mean, men or women, by the way, anyone, so attracted to confident people who are clear on what they want, what they don't want, when they like, when they don't like. It's so important. It's so attractive. And so what I see with my clients is once you do the work, people come to you. Like people want to work with you. People want to hang out with you. People invite you to things because you're so honest and direct that they know where you are. They feel safe with you. That's super important. They are safe with you because you announce who you are. You just know. So I love this. At the moment, I only have boundaries. So the thing, yeah, boundaries is about, it's a balance. It's a boundary from a place of, of feminine. It's the feminine. It's not like harsh, Katie, I need to find my voice. Yes. Okay. Let's move on to the second one, which is the sensual. Ooh, the sensual is so fun. So think of your femme fatale. I'm French, so femme fatale feels very appropriate. When I talk about femme fatale, it's often quite triggering for people, for my clients. At the beginning, it's a session they often dread because we feel like being femme fatale can be, and being sensual is manipulative. We're worried we send the wrong signals. So I want you to change that vision of being sensual. When I'm talking sensual, I'm talking, it starts with your senses. So it starts with a very healthy body connection. We are animals. We're here to connect with things with all our senses. We're not supposed to be living in our heads. So being sensual starts with smelling coffee in the morning, smelling the flower, taking time to actually feed the senses, feed the body, eat nice things, look at beautiful things, like actually indulging in those and bringing pleasure back at the center. It's very important in my work is pleasure first. Why are we in this earth if it's not to feel good? What's the point? It doesn't serve anyone for us to shut down from pleasure, shut down from feeling good, like giving yourself permission to feel good, to embrace life. And there's so much stigma around that, right? So I want you to think of this like how can you channel your feminine from your body? Like I said before, this. Your body is guiding, not your head. And then I want you to think of seduction, playfulness with life, with people, with yourself. What is it that you can do that makes you feel like you're being playful? You're like, when I was dancing, and I'm mindful of the time, so I need to hurry a little bit, but when I was dancing, the nights I would make money, the nights when I was popular were when I was playful. So think of your femme fatale as a playful being, not as like I'm taking myself seriously, I'm above anyone. No, that as a dancer, I would make no money like that. I would just be like, hey, like, let's have fun, let's be cheeky. You can be like this with life. And so if you work with me, when you work with me, we practice that very concretely. What does it mean today? What does it mean for you? And my clients see result in that in the sense that they're not in their head anymore. And so if you do this work even by yourself, you're going to feel the shift, like it's your whole self. When when you learn boxing, when you don't know to box, you box like this. You just box with your arm and the day after it's so painful and you have no power because you're boxing like this. When you learn to operate from your full self, it's the same with like when you learn to box, you're going to box from your whole body. Like you're going to learn. It's actually a body, your body weight is going when you punch, right? So the punch has nothing to do with your hand. The punch is your whole hip, is your hip moving. It's like a dance. And you punch. This is how you operate when you're in your feminine and masculine. You're your full self. Your body is like going in life, So you're going to have so much more power. And being sensual actually makes you more productive, more efficient, more reliable, but also just more enjoyable. Okay, last one, be bold. Be bold, you balance the feminine and the masculine. So we talked about that. It's not like, nice to see you, Kat. Nice to see your face. Balance the masculine and the feminine. We learn which area of your life do you want to actually be in your masculine. Like you mentioned, Jessica, your work is very masculine. You're not going to start being like, at work. How, maybe some area can be, I'm in my masculine, and that's fine. But some area can be, I'm totally in my feminine. So we learn what works for you. How do you dose? How do you balance? How do you play with that? Grounded confidence. So it's a confidence from yourself and aligned action. So be bold. It's the third month of the program. And that's where you make sure that it's actually concrete action that you take in your life. So this is not just, oh, I'm feeling great. It's like, no, actually, my life is aligned with how I feel. And it's the dominatrix, which always gives me a smile when I talk about that. The dominatrix is the ultimate feminine. She's so comfortable with being a woman. She's so confident in her power that she can actually allow people in her world to please her. And so the dominatrix is like, yeah, are you lucky enough to be in my world? I'm giving you a favor by allowing you to help me. And so there is a dynamic in relationship that's super fun to explore, but just as an alternative way to think of your life. Again, playful, playful. It's like, okay, like I'm going to meet this person. Let's see. Let's play a game. Let's see, are you good enough for me? So it's really like concrete outcome when you do this work. I want you to tell me in the chat, how does it feel for you? How would it feel for you if you were more bold and more sensual? What would happen? What would happen in your life? I think at the moment I know what I don't want, but not what I need. Okay, there I need the connection to my feelings. Yes. So yes, Jessica, so that's really going, that's very much what I'm talking about, is like knowing who you are, knowing, because also, like you're not the same person than 10 years ago, 20 years ago. It's like doing actually okay, where am I at in my life now? Where am I heading? It's yeah. Martina, I feel literally as the queen of own life, having bigger impact, client, community-wise, feeling freedom, abundance, living my sexuality to the fullest again. Yes, sexuality, I don't have time to talk about that, but oh God, you're going to feel so much more pleasure once you do this work. More boundaries, more myself, less energy out of the window. Yes, exactly. It's exactly that. So I always invite my clients to think of putting the spotlight back into you. Learning to do that guilt-free. It's such a cliche in coaching, but it's this thing. Put the mask, on the plane. Put the mask first on yourself so you can save everyone else. So putting yourself back in the driver's seat. You are driving the car. It's your car. You're responsible for it. And us women, we've been made often guilty, and especially if you do the crappy feminine work where it's like you need to be receiving, you need to be wait for the universe, wait for the man to message you, when for what the hell is that? That's like patriarchy talking. Like, no, being a woman is actually being a creator. We create life. We create life. We're creators. Create your life, create your reality. Be like that strong, powerful woman that's like wild hair and color, whatever that means to you. For me, it's like messy hair and, I should maybe have more bright colors today, but it's a red dress. Anyway, I'm mindful of the time. So anyone, I want to share with you I want to know how does it sound to you? Like, okay, sorry. What is the takeaway for you? Can you write that in the chat? What is one takeaway, one thing that you're like, I want to remember that. And thank you everyone for the messages, the great thoughtful comments. I love this little group today. And I want to know how you're feeling, everyone. And I'm going to allow questions and comments, and so we can go a bit deeper. How is everyone feeling, and what's your takeaway so far? It's not finished yet. I still have more. I still have more for you. So the comments I'm seeing very quickly. So I need to find my connection to my feelings to find this part, but I put away I put away for the last years my opinion. Yeah, I need to take ownership of who I am and care less outside. Yes, outside opinion. So those things take work, those things take work. Even if sometimes we have like a realization, we forget because we bombarded with techniques and things. This is about actually like committing to action on the part I work on. Yes, I need to speak up. Yeah, I love it. Okay. So this is the last kind of part I want to tell you about. This. So this is what I've learned, and that's what works, and that's what I offer in my program. So once again, if this speaks to you, I will tell you in a minute how to do that. But whether you want to work with me or not, this is going to be helpful for you because I know what works because I've practiced it over and over on myself, but also with my clients. So what works is being guided step by step. So it's just, otherwise you're just doing one thing for a week, and especially New Year's, lots of resolution. By the end of the month, you dropped everything. You need a step by step guidance, a plan, and you stick to it, and you allow the transformation to happen. Number two, community and role model. This is so important. You don't need to be alone in this. You don't need to be on your own doing your manifestation list. No, you can be surrounded by women like you who have big goals, big aspiration, and they want to be in that energy, that blissful energy. And you need role models. You need to see women like you making progress. And so it's like everybody together, we're all making progress, including a role model, whether it's me or someone else, but like a woman who have done the work and is continuing doing the work and is sharing and inspiring you. You need to see it in real. Because chances are around you, other women, maybe they don't do this work or they're not as committed as you are. And so they're kind of dragging you down. You need to lift up with everyone else. Momentum, super important. Momentum, there will be moments where weeks are like that, days, months. There will be time over 3 months or 6 months you do this work when you feel that you need the group momentum. You need to feel like you're on a path. It's okay. I might feel shit. I don't want to show up this week, but I am going to show up because I'm going to benefit from everyone's energy. You're building momentum. And the last one, being seen. Something I've learned, especially around femininity, sensuality, sexuality. Those are very personal, deep topics. You need to feel safe in a small container of women where you can express those sides of you, be seen, and say silly things, test things, and be not judged. And you need to do that with other women around you. So you're seen first in a small container. You see yourself in that safe container of women, and then you can test in the world. So I want to know who's like, yeah, I'm really into it. Like I'm really into it and I'm curious to know the next step. Can you give me a thumbs up if that's the case? I want to know how you're feeling. And I'm going to be sharing a link with you because I want you to, Kat is giving me a thumbs up. I'm not saying everyone at the same time, but let me give you a link, everyone. So this is your next step. And stay with me because I'm going to give you a chance as well to ask questions and stuff for the last 5 minutes. So Jessica, Elizabeth, so I would love for you to book a call with me. It's a free call. It's a chance for you because I don't do a lot of one-on-ones, but I want to do a bit of I want to say consultation. So we're just looking at where you're at, where you're heading, what's stopping you, and then we can talk about potentially working together. What I do is I work in small groups of women, a little bit like today, obviously much more interactive. Every week we meet and I work over 12 weeks. Small group, deep work. It's very cool. It's very fun work. It's giving you lots of energy. I want you to book if you're ready to put yourself first. So it doesn't mean you can't have other priorities, of course. This is supposed to be part of your busy life. This is for busy women. But I want you to be like, yeah, I'm at that space where I'm ready to invest time, a little bit of time into myself, energy, but also money. Because I want to be honest with you, it's not cheap to do this work. The same way you go to buy really crappy food, you're going to get crappy food, it's cheap, or you can buy really nice food and have a nice dinner and you're going to feel good. It's the same. It's not cheap, you've got to give yourself the means. If you want to do this work, be supported, you've got to spend some money. So I want to be honest about that. I can tell you more about the price. I have like a couple of different offers, so I can tell you more. Feel free to book the call with me. Can I get a thumbs up if you booked a call? I want you to click on the link now, please, because once I shut down, it's going to disappear. So just click on the link and then you have it open in your phone or laptop. And I want you to tell me who's booking, just so I know who to expect. I haven't actually checked my calendar, but it's sending you to my calendar. And I have a spot this afternoon as like just after this. If you want to do the call now, you can also WhatsApp me or email me. And I forgot my pen. And once you've done that, I would love for you to write questions, comments, and we're going to use the last 3 minutes to answer comments. You can also unmute yourself if you want to ask something. I love Martina's comment. Yes, sisterhood. Give yourself permission. Martina, this is such a big part of the work, is to give yourself permission. Like for everyone, like it's true for all of us. Like it's often a matter of like, okay, I'm giving that to myself. Break free from conditioning I grew up with. I want to feel good and unapologetic about myself. Yes. And I want you to think of this work as it's a repetition. Lots of ways you're going to re-inject that feminine self in lots of ways over time. And slowly you're getting there. It's not like a one-time, oh, I changed. It's how do you re-inject that feminine self into your life? So do you have any question, anyone? I will stop sharing. Tell me if you booked. You can give a thumbs up in the chat if you booked a call so I know. And if you're wondering, the replay will be available. If you want it, I can send it to you. You will get an email to ask you if you want the replay, so you can just respond then and I will send you the replay. Okay, Jessica. Yeah, as long as you have the window open, you can just book after. For sure. Anyone else? I see people on the screen, so I think some of you are booking. Multitasking. Kat, yeah, great. So I have Kat, Jessica. And if that's not for you, you're like, yeah, it's not for me. That's completely fine, by the way. Like, no pressure. But If you're interested in doing this work, then I would love to have a chat and we can assess whether we're a good fit. So it's a two-way street. We discuss, see if we're a good fit, and if it's the right next step for you, then we go and we do it. So the next program start is end of January. So I'm starting a group in 2-3 weeks, basically, 3 weeks. So the timing is pretty good, I think. Elizabeth, great. So far, I don't know where my pen went, but I need to write down. Any last question? Then I'm going to say goodbye. Was it helpful for you, everyone? Yeah? Do you have takeaways? Good takeaways? Well, I'm very grateful for your time, everyone. I'm going to email you, everyone, the next steps, and you can have the replay as well. Please stay in touch. You can follow me on Instagram. We can stay in touch this way. And yeah, that's great, Katie. Thank you. Thanks everyone for your time and commitment to yourself. And let's stay in touch. Bye. Bye, everyone.